Welcome back to Biology by Stravanti. Today we are going to learn about the biotechnology. So under that, in previous class we have learned, or previous video we have learned about the different devices used in the biotechnology, that is rDNA technology. Today we are going to discuss about the biological tools which are used in the rDNA technology. So before going into topic, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and side there is a bell button. Please click on the bell button for further notifications. So let us go into the topic. So topic is, that is biological tools. So what are the biological tools needed for the rDNA technology? So mainly in the rDNA technology, mainly three tools are required. That is, first enzyme, second is cloning vector, and third one is the cloning organisms. So these three are very important in the rDNA technology. So let us go in deep with each one of. So first one is the enzyme. So these enzymes, enzymes are nothing but these are the proteins that acts as a biocatalyst or biological catalyst which help in metabolism. That means which help, or it acts as a to catalyze or to process the reactions fast. So coming for the enzymes which are required mainly in the rDNA technology are like lysozyme, nucleases like exonuclease, endonuclease and restriction endonucleases, and also DNA ligase, DNA polymerase, alkaline phosphatase and reverse transcriptase. So these are the main enzymes which are necessary for the rDNA technology. So let us learn deeply about each enzyme, how it functions. So first is a restriction enzyme. So these enzyme first coming for the nuclease. So the nucleases are nothing but the enzyme that cut the DNA strand is called as the nuclease. The enzyme that cut the DNA strand, that is phosphodiester band, the place where it cut is called as the nuclease, or cutting process is called as the nuclease. The enzyme which acts for the cutting process is called as the nuclease. So there are two types of nuclease, one is exonuclease and another one is the endonuclease. So you know that exonuclease is outside and endo means within or inside. So if the DNA strand, that means the enzyme, when you consider a DNA strand, the enzyme which cuts at the corners or the ends of the DNA strand is called as the exonuclease. If the enzyme which cuts the DNA strand in between, in the center, it is called as the endonuclease. So this is about the nucleases and exonuclease and endonuclease. Later on, during the 1970, it was found that the bacteria contain nuclease that would recognize a short, particularly a short nucleotide sequence it will identify in the DNA strand. So that place where it identify and cut the DNA strand, so that enzyme is known as the restriction endonuclease. That means it has a specific site in the DNA strand, so that specific site only it goes and cut there. So that is called as the restriction endonuclease, or simply restriction enzyme which cut in a particular specific sequence or recognizes that sequence and cut there. So that is called as endonuclease. So for example, if the bacteria, in a bacteria, to destroy the various DNA that might enter the cell, that means in a bacteria cell, if at all the virus attack, so this restriction enzyme go and attack on the viral DNA such that it recognizes the viral DNA strand and cut and destroy the viral DNA. That means this restriction endonuclease act as the, or shows the defensive mechanism against the foreign particle, and it modify itself and block the action of that particular enzyme. So later on, these restriction enzymes are thus called as the molecular scissor. Cutting is nothing but with the help of the scissor. That's why these restriction endonuclease or restriction enzymes are therefore called as the molecular scissors, and they are used to recognize and cut the DNA at specific site. So that recognizing sites or specific site is called as the recognition sequence or recognition site. So that at particular recognizer site only, that recognition enzyme comes and cut the DNA strand. So they are in different enzyme, that means different restriction enzymes are present in different organism and recognizes different nucleotide sequences different in different organism and cut at different site. So this is about the restriction endo or restriction enzyme. Next, coming for the recognition sites. So these recognition sites are where that particular point where it cuts, it selects the 4 to 8 nucleotide sequence in a DNA strand and it does the cutting or recognition cutting takes place, or molecular scissoring takes place at particular point only. For example, if you see the restriction enzyme like orthobacterlutus, that ALU1, it recognizes sequence at in between guanine and cytosine. So the product obtained is nothing but division blunt ends form होता है. That means these blunt ends are nothing but there is no unpaired bases. They do not select the particular pairing basis. Unpaired bases are selected and that ends are called as the blunt ends. So in that particular part only this restriction enzyme go and cut in the DNA strand. So if you see the sticky strand, so it get paired up and this is called as the sticky strands. So this is about the restriction or recognition sequence. Next, coming for the example, let us take the example. So example shown here in the figure, if you see the double stranded DNA with a coding of G or DNA double stranded sequence coding GAATTC. So in opposite side, opposite strand, you can see CTTAAG. That is nothing but it is when you see the sequence of 3,5 prime and 5,3 prime. So the sequence will be of same side from left to right and down left to right, right to left and left to right. The sequence reading the same. So that type of sequence is called as the palindromic sequence. That type of sequence, when you read from right to left and left to right, the sequence will be of the same. So in both 3,5 prime strand and 5,3 prime strand. So such type is called as the palindromic sequence. So now in this palindromic sequence, the restriction enzyme Escherichia coli R1 goes and bind to the double strand DNA and cut this sequence in particular place, in the place, or it selects the between the guanine and adenine and cut the strand. So you can see the sticky ends are formed here. Sticky ends are formed. So this type of recognition or this type of sequence which has formed is the sticky ends, and in this manner the restriction enzyme goes and break up the double stranded DNA, and there you can see the two double stranded DNAs are separated. So this is the function of the enzymes, restriction enzyme. Next, going to the cloning vector. So first one is the enzymes needed, second one is the cloning vector needed. So for cloning vector we select the foreign DNA, that is nothing but, for example, if you see if you need to produce an insulin, so for producing insulin we have to insert the insulin gene in a plasmid. For example, in a Escherichia coli bacteria, in a bacteria there is an extra chromosomal DNA, we call it as a plasmid. So in that plasmid, when we want to replicate the insulin or we want to produce the insulin, this insulin coded gene is introduced into that plasmid, and this plasmid is again reintroduced into the Escherichia coli such that this plasmid or gets replicated and produce the number of copies of the insulin. So in this manner we produce the insulin in the rDNA technology. So when we insert the required gene in a plasmid, so that is called as the vector. Okay, so in the this vector should be able to replicate inside the host cell, so that is called as the cloning vector. So vectors which are used in the rDNA technology are like plasmids, bacteriophages, lambdaphages, cosmids, phagmids, BAC, YAC, that is yeast artificial chromosome, transposon, baculoviruses, and mammalian artificial chromosome. So these are the some of the vectors which are used in the rDNA technology. But mostly used vectors are PBR 332 and PUC and TI plasmid, and bacterial plasmids like lambda phase and M13 phases. So these are these have a capability to replicate individually and produce large number of DNA copies when inserted into the host body. So these type are selected. For the vector should have, for this condition, some conditions are required to possess a vector nature. So it should have a marker genes to produce or for antibody production, and it should have at least the control elements like promoter should be there, operator should be there, ribosomal binding site compulsory, it should be there. When you remember about the lac-operon in previous class when you discuss, so there you can see the promoter, operator and ribosome. So all these are necessary for to act as a vector. So plasmid obtained naturally do not possess all these characters, hence they are constructed by inserting genes. So generally plasmid which we are getting does not contain all these characters. So we produce them by inserting the genes. For example, PBR32, PBR320, these are some of the constricted plasmids. So out of these, mostly used is PBR322 is mostly used in rDNA technology in the plants. So let us discuss about the plasmid. So these plasmids are most commonly used in the rDNA technology used for the replication, for example in Escherichia coli. So let us see the plasmid vector for the plants, how it works in the plants. So for these we have selected an Agrobacterium tuminiferous bacteria. So these bacteria mainly live in the soil and causes a plant disease called as a crown gall disease. So this disease nothing but it is due to the overgrowth. A mass type, it will form one mass type, so it is also called as a tumor in the plants. So these bacteria contain a plasmid called as TI plasmid, that is tumor inducing plasmid. So this tumor inducing plasmid contains a transposon, we call it as the tDNA. So which insert a copy of itself into chromosomal of infected plant cell. So then the transposon with the new DNA can still be inserted into the host cell chromosome. Then the plant continue this DNA and be grown in the culture and induce the new transgenic plant. So you can see in the picture there. So the plasmid cloning vector showing a replicating OR gene and a drug resistant gene. This is AMR, AMP and a region which a foreign DNA can be inserted. So this is about the plasmid. In this way we produce the number of insulin by using rDNA technology. And last, we need the host body, that means cloning organism, competent cell. So for cloning organism we use mainly Bacillus, Haemophilus, Helicobacter pylori and Escherichia coli. But mostly in the rDNA technology, in the laboratory purpose, we use the Escherichia coli, nothing but E. coli used for the transformation for mainly in the complete rDNA technology. So PBR is used and also restriction enzymes are used and nothing but plasmids are used, and same way Escherichia coli organism is used completely in the rDNA technology. These are some of the important points. So thank you for this session. If you like, please do like, share and subscribe. If any doubt, please comment in the comment section. Thank you.